In the history of American crime, few names carry as much weight as the Zodiac. He killed in the dark. He taunted police in broad daylight. And then he vanished. This is not just the story of a killer. This is the story of a man who outsmarted an entire nation and was never caught. It began on a cold December night in 1968 in a place called Lake Herman Road, a remote stretch of highway outside Vallejo, California. Two teenagers, David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen, were parked on the roadside. A quiet moment between two young people with their whole lives ahead of them. They never made it home. David was shot once in the head. Betty Lou was shot 5 times in the back as she ran. Police arrived to find no witnesses, no motive, and no suspect. Just 2 lives, extinguished without warning, without reason. It was the beginning of something no one was prepared for. 7 months later, July 4th, 1969. A couple, Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau, were sitting in a parking lot at Blue Rock Springs Park. A car pulled up beside them. A man stepped out, and without a single word, he opened fire. Darlene died that night. Michael survived, barely. He would later describe the shooter as a heavy-set white male with a round face and light-colored hair. It was the first description anyone had of the man who would come to call himself the Zodiac. Most killers hide. The Zodiac did the opposite. 3 weeks after the Blue Rock Springs attack, 3 letters arrived simultaneously at 3 different California newspapers: the San Francisco Chronicle, the San Francisco Examiner, the Vallejo Times-Herald. Each letter contained the same chilling opening. Dear Editor, I am the killer of the 2 teenagers last Christmas at Lake Herman and the girl on the 4th of July. He included details only the real killer could know. This was no hoax, and each letter contained something else. 1/3 of a 408-symbol cryptogram. The Zodiac claimed the cipher contained his identity. He demanded the newspapers print his letters on the front page, or he would go on a killing spree. The newspapers complied. Within days, a high school teacher and his wife cracked the code. The message inside was terrifying, not because it revealed his name, but because of what it said instead. I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest, because man is the most dangerous animal of all. He signed it with a symbol. A circle, crossed by 2 lines. A crosshair. His signature, the Zodiac. The letters were only the beginning. On September 27, 1969, 2 college students, Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard, were attacked at Lake Berryessa. This time, the killer wore a costume, a black hood with the Zodiac's crosshair symbol stitched onto the chest. He tied them up, stabbed them repeatedly, and calmly walked to their car, where he wrote the dates of his attacks on the door in black marker. Cecilia died 2 days later. Brian survived. And the Zodiac? He called the police himself to report the crime. He was not hiding. He was performing. 2 weeks later, October 11, 1969, San Francisco cab driver Paul Stein was shot in the head at the corner of Washington and Cherry Street. Witnesses saw the killer calmly wipe down the cab, tear off a piece of Stein's shirt, and walk away into the night. Police officers drove right past him. They had been told to look for a black suspect. The Zodiac was white. He simply walked away. The investigation became one of the largest in California history. Hundreds of detectives, thousands of leads, multiple suspects, and yet nothing. The most famous suspect was a man named Arthur Lee Allen, a convicted sex offender with a disturbing obsession with the Zodiac's methods. He owned a Zodiac brand watch. He had spoken about hunting humans before the killings began. His handwriting, his shoe size, his physical description all matched. But DNA testing in 2002 cleared him. Other suspects followed. Lawrence Kane, Richard Gaikowski, Gary Francis Post, each one investigated, each one inconclusive. The Zodiac sent 37 confirmed letters to police and newspapers between 1969 and 1974. Then, silence. Whether he died, was imprisoned for another crime, or simply stopped, no one knows. The Zodiac Killer claimed to have killed 37 people. Police confirmed at least 5 victims. But his true legacy is not in the body count. It is in what he revealed about the limits of justice. That a killer could taunt an entire nation, speak directly to the public, and still never be found. He changed how law enforcement communicates. He inspired new techniques in criminal profiling. He proved that some mysteries, no matter how many brilliant minds pursue them, refuse to be solved. The Zodiac's last confirmed letter was received in 1974. 50 years later, the case remains officially open. Somewhere out there, the truth is still buried. This has been The Buried Truth. If you believe the truth deserves to be found, subscribe, because we are just getting started. Next episode, a dark secret that powerful people tried to erase from history. Stay with us.